I'm ready, yeah.
I was just going to wait for ages. Hello, welcome to The Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob, and hopefully everything's going okay. This is where I'm going to wait now, because I was doing some sound stuff, and maybe they'll say the sound is terrible. Wait for it.
We can't see you.
Is the sound okay? We can see them. We can't see them. They can see us. Do you know what's really funny? When we get up to all the subjects of today, you're going to be like, why do people quote us? Sound is fine. There we go. Perfect.
I bet they can't hear me.
They can hear you. Oh, your mic's fine too. Apart from, so yes, everyone. The first thing to say, welcome to this Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. The only reason we're able to do the show and make advert-free, free content for everyone is because of everyone on Patreon and Twitch.
Who send us all the doubloons?
Oh, amazing. Okay, yeah, they do send us the doubloons. And the lights are okay. Nathan, you don't know, but actually on our Thursday night show, all the lights just blew. And we were just in the dark.
I saw something on Facebook. I just saw like this black screen. Honest Wargamer streaming. It was just a black screen. Fair enough. Yeah. Streaming inside Rob's arsehole.
Wow. Nathan, it seems, has been working really hard today, so for the first time. So he hasn't answered his phone all day. So he's a little bit... Anyway, thank you to everyone who does that. Massively appreciate you. You guys are the bestest. Put some new videos up there today, Nathan. They're Moonclan videos that we did... Not Moonclan, Gloomspite videos that we did the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
cool.
Thank you very much. That's massive. But then the first question everyone wants to answered... So we're going to do a Q&A day today, because me and Nathan are going to Australia, so we've been prepping like wallabies.
Sure.
Yeah, right. So everyone's asking, where? Hold on, let's cut to the jet cam. Let's do it, everybody. Da, 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 da. Nathan, where's Jet?
He's looking after my mum at home. She's house sitting in the house while we're in Australia.
So your mum is house sitting in the house while you're in Australia, and therefore Jet is there looking after her.
Yeah.
Ah, so unfortunately,
gotta keep her safe.
Huh?
Gotta keep her safe.
You gotta keep her safe. Is he there?
So she can keep the house safe. Yeah.
Everyone in the chat is not happy. Lofthammer is in the chat. What a gorgeous man! Finally got his internet to work.
Nice.
And John, those Patreon videos are amazing. Oh, thanks, John. Appreciate that. Little one. That's the only. Doggo Cam, yeah, Hook and Pin is not happy. Hi Hook and Pin. Hi Heinrad, Flaming Farmer, Heinrad. Also, Dr. Der Bommel says, can't wait to see you guys. Says, oh, the beard's okay. Mr. Kapowski says, yo. And as you guys may see, the first piece of channel update that I've got for everyone is, if you're a subscriber to the show on Twitch, as you can see, thank you very much. Fulgrima has just... Fulgrima couldn't have been more timely. What an angel. He subscribed for 12 months in a row, which means his stream symbol has gone from silver to gold. He's got a little gold symbol in the Twitch chat.
Fuck, I better start subscribing. Like loads.
Maybe you can also listen to the show. That would also be another thing you could do. Hi Par, hi Elmbirds, Korg, I hope you're well. Mark Time, thanks for the Patreon message and videos. Absolutely no problem. I've been pretty shitty with Patreon over the past few months, but obviously we've been doing all the live coverage. We did the website and the book, but now like I'm on it.
Back on the thingy.
Yeah,
sauce.
back on it. Back on the hot sauce. Gitley, thank you very much. So yeah, you guys have got little shiny symbols when you subscribe. Mr. John Scrivens does all of our art, has perfected it. And talking about someone who's a hero, Mr. Sir Flukesalot is A1 up. I'm back on land. Sir Flukesalot can... One of two things I'm going to tell you about him, if that's okay. Number one, three things. Number one, Scottish. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it. Number two, yeah? He's got his little gold symbol. And number three, because Sir Flukesalot has been such a babe, one time I think he gifted like 50 subscriptions to other people in a month. So he's got a little gem next to his name. Means he's a VIP.
He's a gem.
He's a gem. How do you feel about gems, Nath?
He's great. He mines the black stuff, doesn't he?
He does mine the black stuff. The black doubloons!
He's a Coca-Cola miner.
Hi Ruskies, he is all of those things. Anyway, I just I did all the Patreon stuff today, so I feel like this kind of big pile of love in my heart for everyone and everyone on Twitch. So I just want you all to know that like there's a subscription gets you a little symbol. It might not seem like a lot, but it's just I'm hoping you all realise it's like it means the world to us.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's because of that you and me are able to go tomorrow. we are starting our 44-hour leg trip to get to Sydney, where we then get in Dispossessed Dan's car and we drive to Canberra.
How long's that drive?
That's a bit more driving.
Yeah.
We're going to be travelling for about...
And why did you say leg? Are we walking?
Yeah, well, walk about. That's what we're doing. Hi, Flukesy. Chris also has got a little gem because Chris has very kindly... You see that laptop there? Chris donated that laptop, which means we were able to fly out to Australia with 2 laptops.
Is that how we're flying? A laptop?
Yeah, we're flying with them.
Flapping laptops.
Right. So, yeah, you guys are great. So that's the kickoff. Age of Sigmar, that's what we're here to talk about, the Honest Wargamer. We're going to talk about the fact that we're going over to CanCon this weekend. So if you guys are interested, if you like, listen to the podcast, and there are loads of you who listen to the podcast, make the time, if you get the opportunity, this weekend to come and join us and watch the live stream tournament. Yeah. I've got to say a massive shout out to Clint at the Heralds of War for organising the world's largest Age of Sigmar event. And we're going.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to see.
It's going to be so fucking hot. It's going to be so hot.
We're going to be naked.
I also want to shout out to next week. You might be worried next Monday that the show won't be on because obviously Nathan will be travelling back to the UK. But don't worry. There's a young man in Sweden called Mr. Jonathan Etland. Some people may know that his father is a wizard, and he farms a druid. Sorry, and he farms mooses.
He's an elk.
He is an elk herder. So Mr. Jonathan Etland will be taking over the show next Monday at the regular time. Don't worry, we'll still be live. And I know, look at your face, the face of worry. So he's an elk farmer. Thank you, Retestante. One of those people. So yeah, he's going to be taking over. So don't worry, we'll still be live. And
so he's hacked the feed.
He's hacking the feed. It's a takeover. The name of his podcast that he does in Sweden is the Flushinghusen.
The
So the son of druids will be looking after you next Monday. So thank you very much for joining us on a Monday.
I might listen to that one.
You're such a dickhead. Don't know why I talk to you at all. Right. Okay, good. I think that's all the news out the way. Is that don't worry, next Monday we're still live. Unfortunately, our stat show is going to, me and LLV aren't able to do it. It's not possible. We tried to work out the other day. It's not. But we'll come back to that when we come back, which is exciting. And then a week after that, we're in Belfast. Well, I'm in Belfast, covering the team tournament, the Warlords event.
Oh, that's crazy, yeah.
It's going to be really amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. Speaking to those guys today, they're super pumped. They want to do an amazing job, and they're working really hard. So
that's cool.
I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, awesome.
So today we're going to do a bit of a Q&A session. But I'm going to start off how we always start off, Nathan. What have you been doing in Age of Sigmar this week?
I've started painting my Loon Shrine.
Nice. Is it looking very lacquer?
Yeah. I've the moon part is going to be a yellowishy, fluorescent-y type rock, and the other rock's just going to be normal grey, brown, yucky rock stuff.
Oh, so you're going to go for like really like realistic painting
on the rock, on the bottom rock, not the top rock.
Not on the top rock.
No, the top rock's going to be like it's from Chernobyl. It's going to be glowing and mental, and then the mushrooms are just going to be quite colourful. So yeah, it'll look cool.
All right, that's very cool. DeBolt, I just want to say hi to DeBolt. He's in the chat. Watershed, Missy just told me off. Kids think you're not cool. Hi to DeBolt's kids.
The kids think we're not cool.
Right? What the hell? We're the coolest.
Come here and say that.
I've got to see what everyone in YouTube's saying as well, Nathan. I forget to say what those guys. We're talking. Legend of Couture says, "Where can I buy my Sheffield Slaughter tickets?" They're sold out, sir. But you can contact. There's a man called Adrian McWalter on Twitter who just put the link to a WhatsApp group freely on the internet, and it is the most virus-filled WhatsApp group I've ever been in. Have you read it? Are you in it yet?
Yeah, I'm in it.
It's just full of like spam bots being like, earlier on there was a chance to win 300 rupees.
Yeah. I
clicked it.
I've bought a house in Arabia. I've got loads of dollary dues in Nigeria now. That's great.
That's fantastic. You're near from there.
WhatsApp groups.
It's the best WhatsApp
opening
group.
up the world.
Yeah. Red Sandy wants jet cam, and as you can all see, Nathan's betrayed us. No jet. It's all prepped as well. He's got a little dog bed there. The whole thing, everything. Hey, I'm new to AOS. I'm leaning towards Bone Splitters. Are they a good army to get into? It's a great question. You can go on wargaming.com, and there's a great Bone Splitters guide you can read up there. Septiclobster. That's good. But they do a lot of shots, and it could be an anti-meta pick. So the answer is you're going to roll a lot of dice.
You don't have to take the shotting one. You can also take the stabbing one. The big stabbers.
The big stabbers?
Big stabbers.
You could take big stabbers. Hi, Velatron. Hope you're doing well. Jonathan, thanks to the group at Uporn stock just dropped 50%. Yeah, it's a good army. All armies are good armies.
Yeah, I think Bone Splitter's alright, actually.
Yeah.
There's a couple of decent-looking Bone Splitter forces going to CanCon. So. There is.
So the first thing to talk about, obviously we're going to go to CanCon, so it's a 200 person, 196, but we're going to call it 200. Yeah, that seems fine, because I'm sure some more people will turn up. 200 people at the world's largest Age of Sigmar event, which I'm pumped to be going to, and obviously doing the coverage. We got some announcements to make about it, if you want to hear. Yeah.
Go on then.
So obviously we normally have. So you and me would do some commentating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe he's done that, and then you'd be like, look, death of pussies or whatever you'd say. Yeah. Something similar, right? And then we go.
Somebody's kids.
Exactly, and then we go right, going live to Chuckle Buddy, but no Chuckle Buddy because he won't be there. So this time we're going to be going live to Dan from AOS Shorts.
Oh, sweet.
That's pretty cool.
So I got a Kiwi dude running around.
Yeah, we're making it an international crew. Yeah, so obviously you're there representing Zimbabwe, I'm there representing the Greater Northern Hebrides, then Dan will obviously there with his Kiwi brothers, and then Dispossessed Dan will obviously be doing some commentary as well. So we're all nations under one. Talk about community unity, which is my energy now. I only do community unity.
One planet, one people.
Yeah, one planet, one people. Community unity.
Fuck those aliens. Yeah, one planet, one people. Homo sapiens forever.
Vape Nation. That's right. And also, Scrivo won't be there, sadly, because he'll be at home in the pub. Anyway.
I don't know if I'm sad or not sad. I guess there'll be less cleaning to do on Sunday morning.
Yeah, that would be good. We get those bunk beds, so we're going to be fine. So obviously...
It's going to be like Leeds again, isn't it?
It's going to be amazing. You're going to get pepper sprayed. So, yeah, it's awesome. Chucklebuty obviously is amazing. Chucklebuty will be back. Don't worry, live to your screens, giving everyone burns at the Sheffield Slaughter when we do the live coverage at the Sheffield Slaughter.
Yeah.
So you don't have any stresses to worry about there.
Sure.
Hi, Iron Jaws Mark. So that's good. But that's exciting that Mr. Dan AOS Shorts is going to be there.
Yeah. Because great to meet that fella.
He's so good looking. Do you sometimes not think he's real? I feel like he's a sex robot. Like he looks like someone who was sent back in time to birth our future.
I've not looked at him.
Have you not?
His physicality.
Incredibly well structured. Yeah. Honestly, he looks like marble. He looks like marble with a beard. He's just been cut out.
Marble.
Yeah. You tell me he doesn't. Hi, Ace Face. How you doing? Have you not seen a picture of him ever?
No.
Oh my god, that man posts more than a. Yeah, I was going to say postman, but that's so reductive, isn't it?
Pictures of himself, does he?
He does.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong websites.
You only look at those two websites. That's your main problem. You don't know any.
I don't know all the other ones.
Yeah, he is like Jude Law in AI. He is. He is. If he doesn't have a makeup lady, I don't know. I can't wait to find out. We're going now to Dan, and then he'll be like, no. He's going to get like the contouring.
Wall paint.
Yeah, because he's big on YouTube, so I think he's been watching those tutorials.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've not seen the YouTube stuff. I just see the stuff on the websites. Is that where all the face happens?
Huh?
Is that where all the face stuff happens on YouTube?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anyway, so Dan is going to be doing all the live coverage, which is exciting. So he's going to run around the
So
tables.
there's going to be loads of Dans again. Fuck,
Yeah, so another Dan.
They're not very original with their names.
No. To quote a girl who I saw recently, she said, all your mates are white boys with white boy names. And I was like, what do you mean, Dan? Other Dan? Betrayer Dan. Yeah, so many Dans.
Dan the Betrayer.
All right, so that's exciting news. We could talk about CanCon for ages, but there seems to be no point, because if you want to go on the wonderful Doom and Darkness's YouTube channel, yeah, he did a list breakdown of all the lists. He's gone through all the factions, and he had special guests in. He had Donal, he had Vince Ventrella, he had Dan from AOS Shorts, the man that he is. So just go on his website, on his YouTube. Nathan, YouTube is one website with lots of channels. So once you're on that website, you don't have to worry about going on to other websites. It's not loads of websites inside one other website.
Yeah, I see another. I've got another one similar to that. And so that one does the job as far as I'm concerned.
That is okay, good. Right, yeah. So
it's even got a similar name. One of the other ones.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. It's a good channel.
Solid.
So go listen to that. There's obviously loads. Boy Bill, that's his new name, has donated some bits for Jet, and he's also got, and there you go, cut to Jet. Oh, Nathan didn't bring him.
He's looking after.
I like how you brought him every single week for a year and a half, yeah, and then I buy him a bed and make Jet cam, and you're like, fuck that, yeah, I'll ruin your fucking work.
I'll bring him next week.
Okay, good.
The week after.
The week after, yeah. And according to Banana Timmy, X Hamster is the bestest channel, but I don't know what that is. YouTube, I imagine.
He's not wrong.
All right.
X Hamster's not
Stop
bad.
touching the doubloons.
I can't help it. They're there.
So go on Doom and Darkness's channel. You can listen to all the list rundowns. Nathan, obviously you've listened to them all. What's your favourite army list that you've heard?
The one with the orc bullies.
Okay, good. That's good. Okay, all right.
No, it's got 3 or 4 or maybe a dozen orc bullies.
All right, nice. All right, cool. So go listen to all those. That's exciting. If you want to, you can go on AOS Coach, where I was up till 4:30 the other morning with LLV. So we had, I think this might be a first, I'm not 100% sure, a Canadian, English, Australian live show. Fellatron, thank you so much for donating 500 bits to the show, and also he's like, for Alt Boy Phil and for Jets. And then Rograx has come in and has said, Jet cam? No Jet. Nathan didn't bring him. He betrayed all of us. So I'm so sorry. So sorry. AOS Coach is awesome. So you can go on his channel, and we did a stat breakdown, which was cool. Nathan, there were 11 Gloomspite Gits armies.
Wow. 11.
It's like the 5th most popular army that's at the event.
That's awesome.
Which is cool, right?
Yeah.
Legions and Nick Ash is top, but it's still really, really good. And what's interesting is there's less daughters than there were previously, which is just fascinating. So worth going on it and checking out that video as well. So because that's like a 2.5 hour chat. It's in depth. So if you really want to get like super prep before CanCon, before you listen to you, me, Dispossessed Dan from AOS Shorts, Doom and Darkness, Clint, and the whole kit and caboodle of us talking about the event, then you can get proper pumped. It's the most coverage before an event I've ever seen. So it's like you can proper like Sky Sports it, get excited. Yeah, you could be like, you could just do the whole thing. So it comes, which leads to my first question. Nathan, Twitch chat, everyone, who's going to win? Not who, what army is going to win?
Gloomspite.
Gloomspite. Do you actually think that? Be serious for a minute. I know, so your heart says Gloomspite, but what does your head say?
There's like 200 people, aren't there? So.
Do you think Dispossessed can win it?
No, there's none of them. They're like just giving everybody else a chance.
Fellatron has donated 1,101 in one. I can't say it. 11 bits for Chuckabutty TV. He says these are the bits for Chuckabutty TV, which is necessary because we need to keep him in. We need to keep him fed.
Fed.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. That's very lovely of you. Who do you think genuinely is going to win? In the chat, while you're thinking, Rograx reckons it's going to be, big shout out, Tom, it's going to be Daughters of Cain.
Yeah.
Rambo Squirrel says Stormcast. Unicorn John reckons that the coach has it because coach is taking Gloomspike Gates. Super exciting. Nick Lamborn reckons it's going to be Freegold, which is it's a big pick. Hook and Pin says Daughters of Cain is what my heart says, but likely Legions and a Gash. And then Iron Jaws Mark says Firebellies. Our faction, we all want to win it. Though if Ghostbusters win, I would be amazed, which is true. And hi LLV.
I think there's a couple of nasty Stormcast lists, but it's probably going to be. I would have thought the Death players have got the best tools for the job, really.
So Freegold did win an event this weekend. They won Tempest this weekend. But you think who have got Legions and a Gash?
Yeah.
So you can't really argue with the Daughters win rate, right? 75%, 73% I think it currently sits at, which is obviously crazy. Legions and a Gash constantly podium really, really well, but don't tend to do that as well in Australia. Interesting. I think Idneth got a shout, personally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many Idneth players are there?
Huh? I'd have to bring the stats up again. Yeah. There will be like during the live stream. There's going to be. By the way, if you guys are interested, there's going to be stuff. So that obviously there's the games, our patent pending games. We'll have our Sol system. Thank you very much to Nikos for invented it. Stream objective lighting system, Nathan. Yeah, so you'll be able to see objectives, which is cool. You have all the overlays and other stuff done by John, which is great. But the in-between games, we've tried to up our game a little bit. I'm very sleepy. I was up till very late last night, as you know, working really hard on making some videos.
Nothing to do with me.
No, it wasn't. No, but what I mean is in between games, the entertainment value should be a little bit higher as well. Yeah. Are you excited to play Name That Grot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You don't know what that means, but you're excited. Yeah, you're excited to play it.
Yeah,
All right, good. All right, good. And Nikos is in the chat. He says, "I have been summoned." He has been summoned because he's a wonderful man. So Fluke says, "I think Freegold are good. Just don't want to paint 120 cod pieces." Would that stop you?
No, I reckon they are good. Actually, Freegold. They could win a tournament.
They could win a tournament, I agree. Legion of Grimgas will win, says Gitley. And then LOV thinks Idneth. Oh, so we were both on it. Interesting. Freegold won the event in Sweden this weekend as well. And I think we can announce now that we're going to Sweden in November.
Sweet.
We're in Sweden in November. So Swedish people, hold on to your hats, mainly because it's cold. But we're coming over there. We're either streaming it or we're winning it.
Yeah.
Watch out. Watch out.
As long as you don't feed us any of those rotten fish, we'll be fine.
And Rograx asks, what's the hate for cod pieces? And Doodade says, wow, the Australian on this war game. Oh, yeah, Doodade, we got it wrong. It's just that it's anyway. So you think, what's your final decision?
Legions of Nagash.
Really? You went for such a boring pick. That's so unlike you. I'll just pick a Legion of Asgore. Do you know why?
Well, okay, if we're going that route, there's obviously Gloomspite.
Well, no, we're not going that route. You've made your decision now. You could have based it on. You could have based it on anything. Don't throw doubloons at me. You could have based it on anything. You decided not to base it on. I'm going for Legions of Asgore because there are 4 Legion of Asgore armies there, and yeah, guess what? Now I know you can't times a number by 0, but it is still 4 times more than the dispossessed factions.
What, there's 1 dispossessed?
There's 0 dispossessed.
Oh, okay.
Which is why you can't, obviously.
An infinite amount.
Yeah. So, how's that feel? That the Australians prefer Chaos Dwarves to actual dispossessed dwarves?
That's Australia going in the Book of Grudges?
That's another grudge in the Book of Grudges. That will all make sense in a week's time. Okay. Doodade reckons Legion of Nagash will win. So one of their best players, like there's loads. Go watch the other shows. There's some. They have their national favourites, right? And that's why I'm really excited to do the coverage over there because
they've just had their Masters, haven't they?
They just have had their Masters,
and that was won by a Stormcast list.
Yes.
But what's he taking to CanCon?
He is taking. Oh, I did know this. Idneth.
Alright then. So yeah.
Yeah. So just interesting. But so interesting. Everyone in the chat thinks it's right. But I think the key part for who's winning the Australian event, so CanCon, is Australia, because they've got to be like giddy, right? Like they've got this. I mean, I'm pumped to be going, right? I know you are as well. Like, but they've got this. They've built this up from nothing. They've never had any prize support. They've never had any other support. They've just done it themselves. They've worked really hard. They've just built a community from the ground that's now huge, and it seems really healthy and robust.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're the winners that weekend, which is gonna be fun.
Sounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Right. Does anyone have any other questions about the fact that we are going to CanCon? Any other questions? Nathan, you got any questions? Coach is at 12:30 tomorrow. We arrive in Sydney at 1:30 in the middle of the day. So if anyone wants to cheer us on with a ticket tape parade and some flags.
Couple of fans.
If anyone would like to run up there with a cool water bottle. I'm quite scared, actually, because I am terrible in heat. And it's 40 degrees that weekend while we're going to be live streaming. And it's going to be... I actually am genuinely concerned the laptops might just shut down, because it might be too hot.
Yeah. I believe their phones just turn off randomly because it gets too hot, so...
But please join us this weekend when maybe we'll be writing letters to you.
Yes, yeah, laptops are all in ice buckets.
Elmbird says, to be honest, anyone tough enough to face that wildlife and the Games Workshop prices there is a top lad in my book. Hey folks, says Ironside. Boy Phil, question, what was the schedule going to be like next week? 2 weeks off like Warhammer TV? No, Boy Phil. So if you guys have just joined us, next Monday we have the Swedish show is replacing the Monday show. So Jonathan Etland, our semi-regular, and I think I feel he's always here on a Monday with us somewhere, being a druid.
He's always a semi somewhere.
He's a semi somewhere. He'll be hosting the show, talking about Age of Sigmar. So you guys will get to hear Swedish people in English, obviously, talking AOS. So that'll be really cool. Tuesday, obviously, we can't be here because we'll have just arrived back. So the studio won't be built. And Tuesday Stats Day has to go. But then the rest of the week is all fine. Thursday shows are fine. Our Australian show, which happens on a Friday, is fine. So everything's good. So we're keeping the momentum going, as they say. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Is that right with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
You sure?
That Friday show, just to interrupt, does that go out on the podcast? Because I tried to find it the other day on my podcast.
It does, but we're gonna, when we go over, we're teaching Dan how to put it on a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So you should get all that. That's fun. Obviously, we're also we're going to do some interviews and stuff at the same time while we're out there. On the Friday night, we are going to the New Zealand, the Kiwi versus Aussie grudge match, and we'll be doing some sort of coverage, some sort of conversation while we're there. So that's what we're doing on the Friday night.
Cool.
And then on the Sunday night, if you guys are interested, the Dwellers Below are hosting a kind of giant conversation that we'll all be having on the Sunday night. So you guys shouldn't miss out on too much, hopefully, but you should get an entire weekend of amazing coverage.
Should be some great tangents on that.
There will be some excellent tangents. And also, John's Wednesday show isn't on this week, but it is on next week. So when he'll be doing his art show.
Okay.
So don't worry if you guys. And he talks lore and draws pictures.
Yeah.
It's a very nice time.
Does he have a perm just for that night, like that artist guy with the big curl?
Bob Ross. You're a fucking idiot. Why does anyone listen to this show when you're talking? Follow-up question: why are Boy Phil? They are just rubbish, but let's just ignore them. Let's just be better than them. Right. So talking about Age of Sigmar this week, Nath, do you want to ask me any questions about what I've been doing? Hi, number one Darling Covers player.
How's your hobby going?
Well,
how
Nathan.
did your loon shrine go?
No, it's over there. So interesting week for me with Age of Sigmar, Nathan. On Tuesday, yeah. You ever had one of them days where you wish someone... I've got a story to tell if you're listening. You know if someone's going to fuck you, yeah? You think, I just wish they'd taken me out for dinner first. That was my Tuesday, yeah? Like, Tuesday evening, I did a show, and I felt like I had been, what do they call it? Fucked and chucked. That's what happened to me Tuesday night. and not even. I mean, if you're gonna absolutely screw me, yeah, least that they could have done was like write me a card, right?
Okay.
I'm so intrigued.
Yeah, I am.
This is a kind of like a conversation to put some brevity and some honesty into something that happened on Twitter. So on Twitter, John, who runs the Bobo event, got called out and said about something about this event, and it was like, why can't Games Workshop? And John put it would be cool if Games Workshop employees could attend our event. To which a response was from a Twitter account. I'm just going to leave names out of it just to be nice. A Twitter account responded with, well, they are allowed. And then I responded with my personal experiences where I was, and as you know, was told that I was not allowed to go to the Bravery One British Open the very first time it was on. Second time? First time?
First time,
yeah. First time, I was told. But I said that I'd like to go anyway. And I did eventually end up going. Right, but it was seen as very detrimental. So I expressed that. I said it was very bad, and I found the entire situation quite abusive, telling me what I could do with my free time. Then, and this is the bit where I was like, I didn't know. I just want a bunch of flowers. Now that particular Twitter account is a curated Twitter account, so that's where like a social media manager, would uses the Twitter account as opposed to the person who it's meant to represent. Like if anyone thinks they're actually tweeting Rihanna. You're tweeting Rihanna's PA
all the time.
anyway, and my good friend Eddie, he does most of that. So he works for Games Workshop. And anyway, long story short, I just went in there and thought I'll just leave that. That'll be fun. And then I publicly got done over like a turkey, didn't I? Like it was embarrassing. Because then Twitter account comes back and says, "Do you know what, Rob? You do a great show. Everything's wonderful. You're great. Let's get you on the playtester list tomorrow." And I was like, you fucking smart bastards. Because they haven't done anything particularly clever on Twitter for a couple of years. Yeah, so I didn't know that we were playing some sort of tete-a-tete, like hilarious, like wit game. But we were. And obviously it's ridiculous because putting me on the early access list, so people who get battle tomes and things early, a reviewing list, would mean I would have to sign an NDA, and by signing an NDA, that would mean that you kind of like are tied into them, and the whole purpose of our show is that everyone on Patreon and Twitch pays for the show so that we do fair reviews, right? So it was like a hilarious like I got you moment, and I was like, oh, you clever bastards. And I read on my face, I was like, if you're going to fuck me, just like, I could have had a message after, or even a kiss. If I'd have just had a kiss on the end of it, I'd have been like, well played. Because publicly it looks like very much like, we really want everyone to come together, Rob, We want you to be, we want to talk to you and everyone to be on side. And I'm like, we've already put our line in the sand and said that we won't take any product off anyone so that all of our reviews are always fair and honest. And so we just look like a right pair of turkeys. Well, I look like a turkey, didn't I? Got done over.
I'm good at looking like a turkey.
And then, but then I'm not finished with my story. Because then today, I was like, well, I reckon I could smash this today and make a hilarious little, like, funny tweet, get quite a few comments and just have a bit of fun. And I was like, the Trog Boss, that's my follow-up today. I was like, I've been on Twitter this week, and then my follow-up was, the Trog Boss makes Troggoth Battle Line, but the Troggoth Hag doesn't. How's that equal? It's 2019. Bit of feminism. Let's have a bit of a laugh. And then you come in, and are like, are you assuming my gender? And I'm like, well, I'm just fucking leaving Twitter. I'm just leaving Twitter. Like, I didn't know anyone was playing this game. I didn't know we were all having a fucking laugh.
That was so easy though.
Anyway, and unsurprisingly, I did not receive. It was said that the next day that we'd go on some sort of list, and obviously, unsurprisingly, we didn't get put on any list.
We are on a list.
We're on a list, but not that list. So to give you some sort of follow-up, cool. I'd like you to know that if ever we were to even be approached, we would say
we'd have to turn them down.
We would have to turn them down because that isn't what we do. Now, if it was something like, but in the interest of being like super super lovely and nice. Obviously, like LLV does all the stats, we do the show and the coverage. So anything that we can do to help Games Workshop by giving them information so that they can improve their game for the whole community, we're super on board with that. Yeah, like it's a direction going forward with asking nothing in return. We don't want anything in return, because anything in return, I think, impinges on our independence, which I think is quite valuable. Yeah, that makes sense. Or do you not agree? You're part of the show. What would you do?
Yeah, I like independence. One man, one vote. Yeah, that's part of the thing that we said that we wouldn't take. That we weren't interested in doing the reviewing at the beginning, so yeah.
Alright, yeah, fair. Good. Fucking.
So it is what it is.
Cheers. We'll just do our own reviews. You ran out of Coca-Cola. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about it because it was hilarious. Yeah, I walked away from that. I was like, I look like such a twat here, which was excellent because, and I love Eddie. Like, Eddie's hilarious, as you know when I did the coverage with him.
Yeah,
I love talking with Eddie.
He's a super smart man.
He is a super smart man. So he done me over like a turkey. He must have been sat there chuckling, and I was like, "You fucking gorgeous, smart genius." He also paints really well as well. He's just frustratingly talented. So
armies are
amazing,
great,
amazing.
I really like a colourful army, and he does his with colours.
So can I just, because I think it's gracious when you lose to say well done. So I just like to say well done. You fucking done me. It was brilliant, but a kiss on the bum would not have hurt. Like a little, soothing message. If he'd have sent me, honestly though, I'd have fucking squealed like a pig if he'd have sent me a Facebook message with a winky face. I'd have fucking cried. And well done, well done. So yeah, that made me laugh. Then to follow on for the next subject, unless anyone's got any questions about that subject, have you?
No.
None?
No.
None? No. Oh, Jonathan Atlan's just donated 500 bits. Is this to make sure he definitely gets to do the show next week?
It's his way in.
It's his way in. By the way, if anyone
sent a mole in with the 500 bits, they're gonna. That's the hacking.
That's the grot in the machine.
The hacking has started.
If anyone's excited about it, everyone next week should go in and tune in and watch Jonathan Atlan's show. It will be the first thing I do when I wake up on Wednesday.
It's gonna have pictures.
It's going to have picture books. He's going to have his face. I don't know.
That's great.
He is a crazy fucking dude, but he's so nice, and you should check him out. That's really exciting. Also, there's the Masters this weekend, the UK Masters, Nath.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Always excited.
Just tell the truth. Don't be a dick about it.
I'm permanently excited.
just all of the time.
All the time.
Okay.
Is it same weekend as CanCon?
Same weekend as CanCon. Yeah. Like I'm kind of worried about the numbers on CanCon because everyone in Australia is at the event, I assume. Well, then maybe not. Because there's people travelling from all over, so that would be really exciting. It would be cool. It's their LVO, if you will. It's their big ticket event. I suppose now, based on ticket sales in the UK, it would be their version of Bobo. Because Bravery One British Open this year has sold 200 tickets so far, so it's probably going to be the biggest Age of Sigmar event, at least in the UK, potentially the world. Which, as an event organiser, is that worrying you?
No.
No? You're just happy that they've stopped the law on upskirting?
Yes. And hopefully we won't. Yeah, hopefully yes. 200 people. No, they can all bugger off. I don't want to. Wow.
Oh, and also a good point. CanCon starts on Friday for US in Western Hemisphere. And OJ says Ben Savage running Nighthaunt and not something I foresaw. Interesting. I like that list. Have you seen his Masters list?
Nah, I've not really.
It's got a formation in it that stops units around it being immune to battle shock. So you can inspire in presence like witches or Grimghasts. But, you can't inspire in presence them, basically.
Yeah, so Witch Brew doesn't work then on them? For the stopping immune to battle shock?
Anything that stops...
Or like the Loon Shrine? Or that sort of stuff?
Yeah, none of those abilities work.
Oh, that's clever.
Clever, right? Clever. That's a nice little night. So he's playing Nighthaunt, which I think is fun, and I really like that. Darren Watson is taking the summoning list that broke AOS 2.0 and still hasn't been fixed since 2.0. So same army. Thoughts?
Hey. Why isn't he taking Swift Talk agents?
I don't know. But he did win. Big shout out to Morehammer. So this is at Morehammer on Twitter. He did the Twitter Masters. So he basically got people to vote on the different rounds leading up to the final. And based on that, Darren won. Although that was that many people in the Seraphon chat just working really hard to just vote up so Seraphon will win. So they I don't know if it's a true determination based on info. And Dan Ford is taking a Skelly Horde. We can mention that. Yeah, that's going to... So Dan Ford going back to his old Tomb Kings of old.
Okay.
Because he messaged me, he said that he thinks basically Khorne is done for. They've had too many points hikes. They've had too many nerfs in some of their court rules, so he's a little bit daunted by Khorne. And Dan's like the one-man Khorne machine, right? He's not the only Khorne player in the world, but
a few. Darren's played well with Khorne.
He has,
to be honest.
Day 1.
Yeah.
Day 2 though, too much dancing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I guess with the realms, although the magic is toned down a bit at the Masters, isn't it?
Yes.
So, I don't know. Khorne might not be too bad there, but yeah, never mind.
Okay.
We won't find out because he's not taking them.
Yeah, there we go. We won't find out, but Skelly Horde we will. So that's the kind of big stuff coming up this weekend. There you go. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And loads of people have been getting into their Gloomspike Gits this week as well.
So many people.
So many people.
So there's 11 going to CanCon.
11. You excited?
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Toe Mushroom. But obviously, lists had to go in before some of the new stuff was out. So there won't be many Troggoths, or there might be some Fellwater Troggoths, but there won't be Trog bosses and stuff like that.
I saw some rock guts in some of the lists.
Maybe I suppose that they can put the list in and then they have to paint them up in a week, which is cool. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, so yeah, exciting times.
Yeah.
And Nick Lambourne, I dropped nearly 500 quid on Grots this week. That's exciting because Nick's an amazing painter. He's in the chat there on Twitch.
I think Games Workshop have sold out on some of the new stuff already.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
There they have. You can't get Troggoths for love nor money, which is sad. I'm sad about that.
Yeah.
Evening First Brain Squig. Hi, Nick. I hope you're doing really well. Yeah. So I think that's the weekend. That's the news covered. So on to our so everyone, we don't have any other topics prepared for today. Apart from I saw something a minute ago. If you want to talk about it, but it's just a really lame topic. But we talk about it if you want.
Yeah.
So we're taking questions, and then we are disassembling the studio so we can head off. So questions from the chat, please. While we're ready.
What was the lame topic?
Oh, so a lovely man called who does a YouTube channel called 2+ Tough. Yeah, that's his YouTube channel, 2+ Tough. Did a show yesterday. He talked about he did a video which sounded kind of ran along the lines very much of the workbook. It was just if you're new, here are some things to think about, right? Which had quite a nice reception. But one of the things he talked about on the show was going to wargaming.com and reading some of the lists.
Yep.
Yeah. So then he got some pushback from the comments, and the comment section is basically everything we've been battling for the past year and a half on the show. Yeah. Don't net list. It's evil. Net listing makes you a win at all cost player. Things like that. Now, I assume those people don't talk like that, but maybe they do. And anyway, so then he had to do a follow-up video because I think he felt a little bit impacted by it because he normally does narrative lore-based stuff and he's a really nice dude based on all the videos I've seen of him. He seems real friendly. So his follow-up was, is net listing bad? So I would like to cover that in conversation with you now. Nathan, is net listing bad?
No.
Agreed. And that is the end of the conversation. let's move on. Would you like to do any follow-up with that while I read out some questions? Think up some follow-up, but you don't have to, because I honestly think that that's the answer.
Yeah.
Listen to our back catalogue for the answers as to why.
No, some people want, some people love making their own lists, and then they can do that. Some people haven't
the time,
energy,
or the knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Motivation.
They just, don't want to make lists for whatever reason, and there might be 1,000 million different reasons. It doesn't matter. If they want to borrow somebody else's list, it's not like they're all patented lists, and you have to pay them so you can use the same models or whatever the fuck.
Although, I wish that was a system. That might be the only way we could ever be rich, Nate. We just were like, let's go.
Every single thing. Yeah, so, I mean, and more often than not, two people will come up with the same list because in some cases it's the obvious choice.
Well, like we talked about your endless spell list, right, before the Gits book came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were just like, we would hammer ideas at each other. I'd be like, why don't you try that? Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, the Shaman's better. And you've got more knowledge with the army, but I would more throw ideas at it to hone it, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think that list was designed to win, although I think that list can win tournaments or at least win games.
Yeah.
But it was designed to do a thing. Like, and that's what's really interesting. I think a good analogy to say. But I think what's really interesting about that subject, because really, you need to play to a high skill level to be able to play around. Like, you need to be competent at playing the game to be able to explore the game. But before you can be competent, someone has to give you the training wheels.
Well, you've got to play the game some. And if you're starting off and you've got no idea how to build a list, you could just borrow a list, or you could just take a bunch of models and get your dick kicked in. But either way, you probably get your dick kicked in.
Exactly. Well, I compare it to tennis in the 1920s. Yeah, and I'm just picking a date because I don't know where. You remember in them videos when you would see them old posh boys, but they would have the square rackets.
I've never seen a square tennis racket.
You've never seen a square tennis racket?
No.
So they used to have them back in the day, square tennis rackets, right? Or and they go play, and but then at some point, some fucking big dick energy hero walked in. He was like, "Look at this round fella," yeah. And then after that, it was still wood. Then after that, some other fella was like, "Look at this metal fella." But it didn't mean when I was starting tennis, if someone gave me a square racket, I'd be like, all right, this is what we're all using. No problem. Because I'm new. I need a racket to learn with. Yeah? And then eventually someone goes, well, we're going to try some round rackets. And then we all learn.
So are you saying round bases are better than square bases?
Sold. Yeah. Deal. Right.
Fair enough.
Doolade has got a question. Will Nikos feed Jet while Nathan is away? Question as to how Jet is going to fare without you.
That's why he's not here tonight. He's out hunting.
He's stocking up while you're gone. All right, good.
He's dragging them down. I've just dropped him off at Sandringham Estate. He's going to get himself a couple of red deers for the weekend.
I thought Jet was a vegetarian like me.
Sure.
No. We talked to this yesterday. Your mum offered me some dinner. She was like, because Nathan's mom's staying with Nathan at the minute, and she was like, do you want some chicken dinner? And I was like, I'm going out. I've got work. I've got to go to work. So I left because there was no way I could tell her I was a vegetarian because I thought she'd kick my face in.
No. She made, so because I was at work by the time. So when I got home, she had made the dinner, but she had got a separate. So she had roasted chicken and vegetables, and then she had got a separate pan with vegetables that she'd roasted just in case you came back.
Oh my God, what an angel!
Just
I'm going to cry, and I'm going to buy her a bunch of flowers. What a
She hates flowers.
She hates flowers?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they should be growing in the field.
So being a vegetarian is fine, but if I'd have bought flowers, I was in all sorts of fucking trouble.
Yeah, you can't harm the flowers, man.
Okay, man.
Cows, no problem.
Cows, no problem, but flowers, there's an issue. Ruskells asks, and Ruskells also got that lovely. You guys have all got your. If you guys have just joined us, you've got your little subscriber badges now in the chat. Question: Gaming Group had a bad time with early AOS and are sour over the lack of strength and toughness in the game. Any advice on reintroducing them to AOS 2? Ooh.
Strength and toughness.
Yeah, there's no strength and toughness. Well, the monsters in AOS can sometimes be a bit lackluster, right? That's kind of a thing. Because it is. Because I often compare units.
Yeah, a lot of people still, I mean, there's a few monsters that you can send in on their own, but more often than not, monsters should be supported, and then they work better.
Yeah.
People still fall into the trap of, like, this is a monster, it should just take on a whole army on its own. It's not the way it happens.
But it will monstrously let you down.
Yeah.
But we need to find a way to reintroduce them to it. Right?
To strengthen toughness.
No, not strengthen toughness. Just make them play like a couple of 1,000-point games, and then play on a 4x4, like, so they get more games more quickly.
Yeah.
And then they understand the mechanics of, like, scoring objectives.
Yeah, I think, exactly. So I think if you have a couple of small games on a 4x4, like you said, but then make sure you play the scenarios out the handbook, because they're the great thing about the game, really. If you're just going to play 8th edition, who kills the most, then it's not going to be so lacquer. But if you play the objective game,
then you're in a solid place.
Yeah, play Border War or Focal Points or something like that.
Yeah,
a few times. So
don't do shifting objectives.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah,
I do Border War.
Yeah,
I do Greased Up Goblin.
Yeah.
I mean, that can
maybe
trigger
not
people.
First. Yeah, not first off. Start off with Border War. Don't start off with the Greasy Goblin.
Relocation Orb is what some people would call it.
Yeah. Don't start with that one, but maybe second.
Border War's good. Border War's a solid choice.
Yeah, just start with something like.
Also, Star Strike.
Yeah, Star Strike's all right. A bit random though.
No, I know, but like, see, this is the thing about that's the thing, randomness in the game. The game is random. I got like dice. I should do 10 damage to you. I do 2, or I should do 10 damage. I do 20. Like, dice is random. Like, there's statistical probability, but that doesn't mean statistical truth, because I never roll that combat with that monster into your character enough times. I normally do it once. So they're just like, there's a line of best fit, but often the dice don't fit around that. So the thing I like about the Star Strike specifically, because I happened to play it with Paul the other day, that's what I did. I played Warhammer with Paul Haley the other day, and it was fantastic. And he used Iron Guts. Gutbusters. It was really fun. Is knowing that you need units that move around into the right places.
Yeah.
Like, so you just hold off for a turn, or you don't hold off for a turn. There's that whole first turn.
Yeah, I think Star Strike is a good game. Is quite a good mission, but maybe not for like your first 1 or 2 games, because you still haven't figured out you won't have thought through the mechanics of waiting the first turn to see where it comes down, and then trying to think ahead as to if you don't win priority, and all about the stars and everything falling. So, yeah, it involves the positioning, especially turn 2, is quite a huge thing.
I'd also get him to play with endless spells. That's another game, because and people from 8th edition quite liked complexity. So it could seem sometimes like you hear a phrase like do command ability. I know that doesn't necessarily happen all the time now, but do command ability, do some spells, do you move in,
roll 6 dice.
Yeah, I mean, 8th edition wasn't complicated. It was just a bunch of people going, I've got 6. But my Twitter handle is literally a rip of the entire of 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Roll 6 dice.
6 dice.
Yeah. So that would be, good points, Dave. Thanks.
But yeah, I would start with Border War. I think that's a solid one to start as a learning one.
Yes. Yeah. Number 1 Dark Conversations, I don't think net listing is bad, but the win is sweeter with a list of your own. That's true.
Oh, yes.
That's true. But there's nothing to stop that. Like, the people who want to do their own list and be innovative can do so.
Yeah.
But knowing that some things are good or bad, and by bad we mean just not as effective as something else. I think some of my favourite units are bad units. And I probably need a better word to describe it. Yeah, badass units. I really like Bull Centaurs. I just really want to try and make them work, but I just can't.
They're not badass.
They're not badass.
I think the thing with the Honest Wargamer website, though, is you can go. The nice thing about the list is the people that put the lists up will often run through and just tell you how to play with the magma dragons and things like that. So it's nice to go through the write-up, and you obviously don't have to take the next list as it is, but you can pick out elements. You must think, well, that magma dragon combo is really great. I'm gonna nick that little bit out, but I'm gonna have it with something else.
Yeah, like one of my favourite bits. Something I commented on it. It was like some guy was like, "Don't use netlists. It's terrible. Only use them in tournaments." And I was like, I couldn't disagree with you more, because like conceptually, let's talk about your endless spell list as an example, or like my Seraphon list at the beginning of last year. Yeah, which was felt fairly unique. It had Croxagor and Razordons, and it was like had no Shadow Strike, and it was quite different as Seraphon army. And then obviously I've been taking Legion of Asgore, and Andy has been running 2 units of 12 Kadai, and I've been running all the Fireglaves, and like those aren't what you would necessarily consider to be like the pro net list for winning tournaments, which you may think is a Legion of Nagash characters, some Grimghast Reapers, and some other stuff. Or a bunch of Eos for Ideth as an example. But the whole point about like people in our placing in the game, where we know enough about the game that we can either show people stuff or we can innovate, is that I find innovating really exciting. I like making something interesting and dynamic. Then I'm not going to then keep it to myself. I'm not going to go, yeah, I've come up with a really great list, so I'm going to build and paint that in the next 3 to 4 months, and then you're all going to see. Like, I'm just like, look at this cool idea, and then you put the cool idea down, and you put it out on the internet, and in a WhatsApp group, that's on the internet. You put it on Facebook, that's the internet. So, but now we just made thehonestwargaming.com, so I can not only put it as a list, I can describe how it all synergizes together, so that people can understand better, and then they can go, that sounds like a cool idea. Yeah. Like, that's really fun. I've got Skarak, the corn monster.
Yeah.
I really want to write a list with him soon, because I saw him the other day in Warhammer World. I was like, he's fucking cool, that model. And like, I tried really hard to make a Korgorath list before with him, didn't I? And it sucked. And yeah, he got killed by an Unforged. Tell everyone one more time. Yeah. There's still no Dispossessed go to CanCon, so fuck you.
It's because they're too good.
Yeah, maybe. But I really want to run him, and he's too many points, and I know that.
You won't see many unforged on any tables.
Because they're not very fun either. But I think the concept of netlisting is not a real concept, because everything that you write down and publicise is a netlist. So it's just silly, right? Anyway, God loves Nathan take on the game, a mix of acceptance, wisdom, and just pure quick-ass confidence. That apparently. Fucking if only they knew. So you know nothing. Question, who are your picks for winning the English Masters? Nath.
Darren.
Oh, Darren. Juckabutty says Ben Sava. I like Ben's list, because someone kindly donated a Nighthaunt army to me the other day.
Yeah.
And because I've been talking about it, I'm really excited about potentially running some Nighthaunt. So that might be the army I do after. It's either going to be Nighthaunt or Skaven, the army that I think I'm probably going to do after Chaos Dwarves. So that'll be the summer onwards. Yeah. I think. This is touchwood so far. But I don't know. I know he'll have practiced, because I know he's smart, and I know he'll have thought about it because he's smart, and I loved his Scryer list before, which was good. I just don't know how he gets to the other Legions of Nagash characters and the gravesites. That's where he needs to, and he doesn't have loads of bodies, which kind of triggers me a little bit. Yeah. But I know about myself. One of the things I know as a player, so if you ever listen to me talking about armies, I get really scared with minimum size units. Yeah, Nathan's like that, 5 men, and I'm like, no, he needs 25 mates, otherwise I ain't playing. I just back out. I'm like, walking away from that one. So I get super sensitive about MSU armies and about small little things, even though that's the game that I really want to try and play. Yeah, but I cowered out from it all the time.
How do you build a castle with 5 men?
That list triggers me. So I'm going to pick... Sure, I'm just going to pick Dan Ford. I love everyone who's going. Everyone just go and have a great time. And I hope you all win. in some way or not. But like, I like Dan Ford. I think he's great. It'd be nice to see him get the kind of like if you care about what the result is at all, but the lauding of like having achieved the win, because he's a top bloke.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah.
Cool.
If people don't. AOS Coach is in the house. We said, we're going to see Coach on Thursday.
Yeah.
All right. Nick Lamborn wants us to share our list with him, but I don't currently have a Gloomspite Gears list. Do you have a Gloomspite list? Mine's going to go on the AOSwargamer.com next week.
Yeah. But the first list I wrote had Scragrot, 2 Madcaps and a Fungoid. 60.
So is that 5 casting?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because it's
Scragrot,
2, Madcap 1.
Madcap, 2 Madcaps and a Fungoid.
So 2. So yeah, 5.
And then the Madcaps can once per game do 2, and so can the Fungoid once per game do 2.
Jesus.
So that's
so you can add an extra 3 at some point. So it's 5 per round with a potential extra 3 somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
the reason I'm wowing that, in case anyone doesn't know why, is because we had a conversation a while ago where the casting value, the casting amount, or the amount that an army can cast, is probably now a resource that you should all factor in, because things like the mushroom are going to trigger people. That and the Scuttletide casting has generally gone up, or at least the Gits book. It looks like it's a horde army, but it's a magic army, in my opinion.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find the list actually. So
I'm just going to answer some stuff, Nathan, while you're doing that.
Okay.
You keep. Are you ready?
Yeah. So and then it had 20 stabbers, 60 stabbers, 20 shooters. I'll probably make it 2 lots of 20 shooters actually. 60 stabbers, 15 Loon Smasher fanatics, 2 lots of the Spore Splatter fanatics, the Sculpt Mob Horde, Mork's Mighty Mushroom, Scuttletide, and then there was an other endless spell which was, I think might have been Burning Head, if that fits, because that's the one I wanted to take. Yeah, Burning Head. I think it would be Burning Head. Yeah.
Yeah?
The Burning Head is mainly there to buff the fanatics. So it's a 15 fanatic Alpha Strike list threat, but then there's also the threat of the Shaman.
Yeah, so we
the mushrooms.
We did some videos for Patreon the other day where we basically just did some mechanic stuff, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were doing some working out. Did that help you as a question?
Yeah.
To give some advice to people at home.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'd be good to play some games with them, but yeah, just putting them on the board and just putting the model there, and then suddenly thinking, actually, if I could actually put it there instead. So being able to do the mechanic, and then you stand back and look at it and think, well, why didn't I just put it there? Because like when I brought them up, I could have just put the fanatics into all gunners instead of into the shields in the front, or I could have dropped the mushroom at the back. So
thanks very much, LRV. Says he likes the videos on Patreon so far. Good content. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's some clever stuff, especially when you've got someone like you, Nath, who's been playing Fanatics for so long. Like you did so Nathan, I'm trying to describe it with my hands, and if you listen to the podcast, just picture this. Picture like a bow and arrow, but make it out of grots, and then instead of putting the Fanatics in front of it, put it inside the bow.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're defensively deploying the Fanatics. So someone charges at the grots, they're going to have to deal with the Fanatics who can punch over the top, which is pretty terrifying, or who can pile in and punch over the top. So actually they can deploy a little bit further away. So you've so much to deal with. It's intense. And then the mushrooms are just big nukes. They've just got terrifying first turn potential, which is what you want, really, from an army where you potentially aren't going to go for single drops. because you want, like, I have a first turn threat. So maybe don't give me the first turn, even though you're aiming to do the double. That's the usual tactic, right?
Yeah.
Giving you the first turn because I want the double, or I at least want a turn and then you get a turn. So at least you go, I go, which is always a good place because at some point you set up for the double. But then when you got the first turn potential of like the skull and the mushroom, I'm just like, nah. If I was in any way more street, I'd be like, nah, fam. Yeah, nah, fam. Yeah,
yeah. That's the thing though. I do think the list is. I prefer to play the list going second all the time. So.
Yeah, I understand because
So,
you want a double mushroom.
But the threat of if I have ever given the first turn, then I can perform horrendous deeds.
Zemini, thanks for subscribing for 7 months in a row. Really appreciate that. Dreadwoods, a hot pick to win the Masters this weekend.
The Dreadwood.
The Dreadwood, Mr. Ben Sava. Says, I'm the only one gutted that we haven't talked about this yet, the made-to-order models are available after several of us have spent blood, sweat and eBay tears getting them. So have you not seen that they've put...
Yeah, I've seen they've put all the
old Moon Clan heroes of old made to order on order, which is cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Good timing from their part.
It's almost like they knew.
They must have known.
They must have known.
They must have known.
Games Workshop need to address their own leaks department inside themselves.
Internal leaks.
So, what are you going to get? Any of them? Is anyone interested in any of them? No.
There's a couple of the bosses that look quite cool, but no, I'm going to play with new toys. I've got quite a few of the old ones anyway.
You have got a vast collection that's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I've got some of the old metal shamans. I've got a couple of the old metal war bosses, is what they used to be. So I've got a couple of those. So
yeah. I like the shamans loads. I think they look good. I'm gonna I might play some games for fun, but mine's just gonna be all Spider Fang. I might play some with the Gloom
games for
Spite.
fun.
No, I always play games for fun, but I might take some Gloom Spite for fun, and then just make it all spiders.
Just spider army.
Yeah, with some of the spells, I think would be cool. Plus the endless spells, because the 2 cast wizards on the web spinners on the Arachnaroks, or A-Rocks. Can we we do the coverage? If I say looks like he's pushed the A-Rock into a solid position there, is everyone going to be okay with that, or do I have to say Arachnarok every time?
No, you have to give it a full name. Arachnarok web.
No, it's a web spinner shaman on top of an Arachnarok.
Yeah, because there's so many different types now.
There is. They really have worked hard.
So you have to give it their full name.
But
full
I can save you a job. Just ignore all of them apart from the shaman one.
No.
Yes.
Fuck you.
No, fuck you.
No.
You don't want the pop-up one. What's that going to do for you?
Pop up.
I'm out. The Black Orc boss does look really good, Harrylicious. I actually did think
I've got him. Actually.
He looks great. Is he metal?
Well, originally he was metal. I've got a...
Is he resin now?
Resin one.
That would be cool. I really like that model. That looked gorgeous.
Pretty sure my one might be metal. I can't remember.
Okay.
Let's get to Strand.
Well, let's just see what everyone. I'm seeing what everyone's saying on YouTube. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Thanks for watching on Facebook. Thanks for watching us on Twitch. So that was the question. Archean's asked, and hi Archean, is that not just making AOS into 40k where the first turn often decides the winner? That isn't really true, because there's like a deep intuitive sub-game inside Age of Sigmar where people are designing their army lists about whether or not they want to go first, or even appear to want to go first in their army design. Like some people like doing one-drop armies because they get to just decide, which is a really solid place to be. But then beyond that, some people build armies intentionally to just be as many drops as they think builds the best army, and then they play the deployment game, or they counterpunch, or they have something. What's cool about the Grots is you can attack them first, and they can defend quite well, and also because obviously they can have like a unit of Grots that dies, that's fine because they can bring half of them back, so that's a pretty good return for like all of your opponent's output on the first turn. And then if they give you the turn, you can dash loads of spells, which is pretty decent, and you can move pretty fast if you took all of the squigs. You could go and get them, so or you could even pop up with some spiders.
spiders and cogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Darkling Covens, no more Darkling Covens. So Steve Dooley, I'm currently batch painting 30 executions. My eyes have gone funny. There's a Darkling Covens player playing this weekend, Steve, at CanCon. Hoping to do well. Yeah, there's also an Order Serpentis army.
Oh, cool.
Still no Dispossessed there, Nath.
Well, they're too good.
Sure they are.
Gotta give somebody else a chance.
Right, okay. Look,
So the other thing was we are going to Adepticon at some stage.
we are going to Adepticon. Oh, are you going to say something?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, I'm going to sit back for this.
I don't know what.
Go on, yeah. Well, what have you got for me?
I want a doubles partner.
Okay, so you're looking for a doubles partner at Adepticon.
Yeah.
Nathan Prescott. What is it you want to take to Adepticon? Is it the Gits?
It'll either be Gits or Dispossessed.
Gits or Dispossessed? Okay, so and so this is a shout out.
Yeah.
So how can we reach you on Twitter?
Send me a letter to...
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter. Twitter is a good place.
Yeah?
Yeah, for that.
Okay. Would you be looking for someone to go like, do you want to go double Gits? Or do you want someone, or double Dispossessed? Like, what would be your like perfect matchup? Or would you like someone else to take either Dispossessed or Gits so that you guys have got both factions in there?
No, I'm open to anything really. I mean, I could take Iron Jaws as well. So if somebody wants to go all Iron Jaws, or somebody has got some distraction and they want some Gits in their life, that's no problem. We can sort that out.
I've been offering to put Gits in certain young ladies' lives for their entire lives, but they just ignored me.
Or if somebody needs some Dispossessed allies, that would be cool too.
No one in Australia, mate, sorry. No one. 0 people. 0. I can't wait to hold that over you and Dan for the whole fucking weekend.
I might take the Dispossessed to Adepticon then.
Well, just in case they're underrepresented. Dude is asking a question, why is Dispossessed Dan not taking Dispossessed to CanCon? It's because he is commentating with us that weekend. So he's volunteered his weekend off to work, which is amazing. What a wonderful young man. So yeah, really fun. So Dan will be working the stream. If you guys missed the announcement, Mr. Dan from AOS Shorts will be, he'll be going through several phases. He'll be waking up in the morning, I imagine, go for a light jog. Then he'll be having like just a black coffee and an apple, because there's no way he stays in shape without being perfect, basically. Then I imagine he does a small 30-minute meditate and a 30-minute yoga exercise class. This is Dan from AOS Shorts. Then does 3,200 posts on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. Then he'll be doing the live commentary from each and every one of the tables. And somehow, even though I know it's physically impossible, he's going to do them all. We're going to go over to Dan from AOS Shorts, cut to him. Yeah, he somehow will tell us about 110 games at once.
In 15 minutes.
No, in 5.
In 5 minutes.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah. That sounds great. I can't wait.
I can't wait for that either.
I want to see the meditate.
You want to see someone meditate?
Yeah,
It's
and
really
the
boring.
yoga.
It's just someone sit down. You want to watch yoga?
Yeah. I'll watch him do his yoga and his meditate.
For God's sake. Okay. All right. So Adepticon, Nathan would like a doubles partner. Please reach out and let us know. That would be fun. I've got one. I'm going with Mr. Warhammer Weekly Tom.
Cool.
Yeah. We've done 0 discussion about what we're taking. I imagine we'll have it the week before. But yeah, 0. So I don't know what I don't think Tom's aims are to win. So that's fine. I'm going to go take. I might go take a ton of Endless Spells. I might paint up an army special just to do.
Yeah. Endless Spells are always good fun.
Endless Spells are really good fun.
Because after you've conquered the enemy across the table, you can just start putting Endless Spells through your mate's army.
That is the most fun. Me and Paul played the other day. We both had Geminids out, and every turn roll, neither of us would dispel them. It was just doesn't matter. It was always Geminids. It was really good. We don't worry. We are doing the coverage of Bobo this year, so we're doing the live coverage of Bobo. So if you guys just joined us, but just want a quick recap, we will be doing CanCon. We will then be doing the Warlords team event over in Belfast. The week after that, I'm down in London for the one-day London Masters. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Donald's running it, and he wants to win his own event. Skills. We are then taking a week off. I think it's only about a week, and then we're doing the Sheffield Slaughter coverage. No, it's 2 weeks off, and then we're doing the Sheffield Slaughter coverage. We'll be doing the Blood Tithe event and the Six Nations event coverage as well. That's all for AOS. We'll be going to Adepticon. We'll be going to Canada to do the Capital City Bloodbath 40k coverage. So there's loads of coverage coming. Bobo, we will be doing Bobo, which is where we started out. So that'll be it'll be nice to return there with all the new gear and really like knock it out of the park for a second time running. Yeah. And then more in the future. But just to give you some sort of like all the things that we're hitting, quite a few things.
Lots of hitting.
Yeah. Corrupted DZ. Hello guys, Chaos List for CanCon post anywhere. If you just go on to Doom and Darkness's YouTube channel, you'll be able to find them all there. Bluesy says, Paul DC says, hi from Texas. Hi Paul, hope you're well. When are you leaving for Australia? We're leaving tomorrow. We've got to pack up now in a minute.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I am.
You actually excited?
Yeah?
Exactly,
yeah.
Yeah?
Of course I am. Yeah.
I know you are, but you've never been to Australia before, have you?
No.
Oh, that's fun. What's really sad is, because Nathan's obviously got to work, so Nathan's taking time off work, which is awesome, but that means that we're not able to go for like a long period of time. So it's not a holiday. We literally arrive on the Thursday.
Going for the weekend.
What?
Going for the weekend.
We are going almost for the weekend. Yeah, we arrive on the Thursday. We drive straight to Canberra. We're having a barbecue that night. So if anything, that's our only social time. Then on the Friday, we set up all of the equipment for the show on the Saturday and Sunday. Friday night, we're going to go do coverage from the Aussies versus the Kiwis. So a bit more travelling. Then Saturday, Sunday, we do the coverage of the event. Sunday evening, we do a podcast with the Dwellers. Monday, we go home.
There you go.
There you go.
No messing about, boys.
I don't think I'm even going to get time to take you to the Sydney Opera House. We might have to just like drive there and just do the photo. Just like drive, get out, photo. So, oh yeah, it's a white building. That's nice. Which is a bit lame. Nathan's colonial accent will get through easy peasy, says Symbol.
Get through what?
Customs.
Oh, okay, cool. Sure.
Are we excited for border control? We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And then, are you covering Throne of Skulls this year? The other channel coverage. We're not covering Throne of Skulls this year. But as the reigning champion, I will return.
Cool.
To Throne of Skulls. Are you going to come? Should we go Throne of Skulls?
Yeah, we should do.
Let's take like mental lists, like proper out there.
I'm just going to take endless spells.
Yeah.
For days. just like if we could find a level 2 caster, just 6 of them. So there's just at least 6 endless spells cast every time. 3 battle line of 10 men, and just go. What you got? I brought an army for both of us to play with.
Yeah. Just see. All right, cool. So we're gonna go. If that's all right.
Yep.
Everyone in the Twitch chat. Everyone this weekend. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry that the show has been not very Warhammer related. It's been a bit Warhammer related, but you're gonna get loads this weekend, obviously. Yeah. So we're doing loads of packing. Just want to say, like, it's really nice to be able to do the show, obviously. But big shout out to Clint once again, for the Heralds of War, for like setting up the crowdfunding to get us sent over. Then thank you to everyone who donated to the crowdfund, because that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to do Honest Wargamer in Australia.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
And then the week after in Belfast. London's fine. But we don't worry. So if you guys would like to, if you follow the Honest Wargamer Twitter or YouTube, we'll be doing some on the road videos. On the road again, which obviously intermittently posted. I don't know if we'll get internet in China, but we will try. But we're just going to keep posting up videos. So
They're
follow.
bound to ban you.
What? Ban me?
Yeah.
Why? They don't look like Winnie the Pooh. That's a sick socialist revolutionary burn there. If I was in China, I'd be in a jail so quick.
Is it the marmalade sandwiches? No, it's not. Winnie the Pooh likes honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? I'm
So
so
that's
interested.
probably
Why do
me.
you think Winnie the Pooh, by the way, is banned in China? Banned.
It's because he talks to pigs.
Oh, OJ, thanks so much for the bits donation. 500 bits. That is Symbol has put solid China zinger, Rob. Thank you. I appreciate that loads.
I've got no idea why they would ban Winnie the Pooh. He's great.
Huh?
Got no idea why they would ban him. He's great.
Because he has no pants on. No, it's because the leader of China looks... I don't know why I'm whispering, like it's not a fucking recorded show. Yeah, the leader of China sometimes get compared to looking like Winnie the Pooh because he's got a bit of a paunch. Yeah, and it upsets him because same as every like autocrat, he's like incredibly thin-skinned. So he banned Winnie the Pooh and all images of Winnie the Pooh. If you post an image of Winnie the Pooh, you're going to jail.
What about
in
Piglet?
China.
Was Piglet banned?
I think basically the entire Christopher Robin.
Eeyore?
Eeyore. That's the thing about doing this show, Nathan.
What about Tiggers?
What about Tiggers? So me and Nathan are going to do this. We're going to get off the plane in China and shut the fuck up for 6 hours because our comedy is not comedy that they will enjoy. Then we will go to Australia. We'll go to the Border Patrol people and we'll be like, hello, you've got an amazing country and everyone here seems lovely.
We've got nothing up our arses.
We won't say that because we'll get in trouble and then everything will be fine. And we'll have a lovely
Except
weekend.
for him. He's got stuff up his arse.
Anyway,
It's going to be streaming standing up.
but and obviously join us, show host. So the person who does our Friday night show, Dispossessed Dan's going to be there. So I'm really excited about us meeting up again. Dispossessed Dan. He talks a good game of Warhammer, doesn't he?
Yeah, he knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff, and he's got some zingers. And he's really excited. It could be Friday morning. What's this? Don't worry, Coach. We are coming to the Kiwi versus Aussie footy match, but it's with Warhammer. So it's the Warhammer match. We're there. Don't worry.
The Davis Cup.
The Davis Cup. Anyway, you guys have been amazing. Again, I can't thank everyone on Patreon and Twitch enough that's like allowed us to do stuff like that. We're begging myself again this month by getting a couple of little bit of extra pieces of equipment. I've got to say a personal shout out to Chris for helping so much there. That was really cool. John and all the guys who do all the artwork, Nathan, everyone who does the show, Nick, Tom, everyone. So it's going to be real fun. And just big shout out to all the Australians. I'm looking forward to going over there. It's real sweet that they want us to go. Like, it's a little bit, it's going to be so disappointing when they actually meet us. They were like, you two are just pretty, you're just dudes. Just fucking two dudes. But we'll see you all. Please join us. So the big takeaway from this is join us live because the Australians really deserve to know that the rest of the world are tuning in and are like, let's kick the scene off in a really big way. So let's like.
Well, there should be some great games.
Should be some amazing games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be fucking so hot. So, if anyone wants to watch me sweat for 8 hours, tune in. So yeah, check out our times. See you all. You guys are great. We'll see you when we're back. Nathan?
Later.
Alligator.